Most men get it completely wrong. They think women leave because they aren't attractive enough, because they didn't text enough, or because they didn't chase hard enough. They obsess over sending the perfect message, planning the perfect date, or saying the right thing at the right moment, thinking that if they just do everything correctly, she will stay. But here's the brutal truth. Women don't leave because you're not enough. They leave because they don't feel anything powerful when they're with you. It's not about how often you text her, how much you impress her, or even how much you care. It's about something much deeper, something most men completely overlook. You can be rich, good-looking, successful, but if she doesn't feel deeply connected to you, she will walk away. Every single time. And that's where most men fail. They try to keep a woman by giving more attention, more effort, more validation, without realizing that attraction isn't built through effort alone. The real question isn't, how do I keep her from leaving? The real question is, how do I become the kind of man a woman never wants to leave? Welcome to Stoic Spirit, where we break down the psychology, philosophy, and mindset that make you not just more attractive, but stronger, wiser, and more in control of your own life. Today, we're unlocking the psychology of unshakable attraction. The kind of attraction that makes a woman feel something so strong, so rare, that she never even thinks about leaving you. Because the truth is, attraction isn't just about physical chemistry. It's about emotional gravity. It's about the way a woman feels when she's in your presence. It's about the way you move, the way you lead, and the way you make her feel safe, yet excited at the same time. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what makes a woman stay, not because she has to, but because she wants to. This isn't about tricks, manipulation, or playing games. This is about becoming the kind of man who naturally commands respect, admiration, and loyalty without ever having to beg for it. So if you're ready to transform the way women see you, if you're ready to stop chasing and start attracting, then stick around. Hit the like button, subscribe to Stoic Spirit, and let's dive in. Number 1. The paradox of attraction. She wants to feel, not think. A woman doesn't stay because of what you say. She stays because of what she feels when she's with you. And this is where most men fail. They focus on the words, the logic, the right moves, instead of the emotional experience she has in their presence. They believe attraction is a puzzle they need to solve, a formula they need to master, or a checklist they need to complete. But attraction is not a transaction. It's not a negotiation, and it's definitely not something you can force with tactics. Think about the most intense moments of connection you've ever had. The moments where time seemed to slow down. The moments where a glance held more weight than 1,000 words. The moments where neither of you needed to say anything, because the energy between you was already saying everything. That's the essence of attraction. It's not built through perfectly crafted texts or strategic timing. It's built in the space between words, in the presence you carry, in the way she feels when she's around you. Now let's break down why this happens on a psychological level. The human brain doesn't make decisions rationally. It makes decisions emotionally first, and then justifies them with logic. This is a scientific fact. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio discovered that people with damage to the emotional centers of their brain struggle to make even the simplest decisions. Why? Because without emotion, there is no decision-making process. The same thing applies to attraction. A woman doesn't analyze you first and then decide to feel something. She feels something first, and only later does she justify why she's attracted to you. This is why the moment a woman starts logically thinking about whether she likes you or not, you're already in trouble. The moment she has to analyze her feelings for you, the magic is already gone. Because attraction isn't built through logic, it's built through feeling. If she has to weigh the pros and cons of being with you, it means you haven't made her feel anything strong enough to override that process. And here's the truth most men never realize. If a woman is emotionally drawn to you, she will make excuses to stay, even if the circumstances aren't perfect. But if she feels nothing, she will make excuses to leave, even if you check every single box on paper. So what does this mean for you? It means your goal isn't to impress her with what you say. It's to create a feeling so compelling, so magnetic, that she doesn't even have to think about it. And this feeling doesn't come from saying the right thing. It comes from who you are when you say it. It's the way you look at her with unwavering confidence. It's the way you hold silence without feeling the need to fill it. It's the way you make her feel seen, heard, and deeply understood. Most men try to convince a woman to like them. They try to prove they're worthy. But a man who understands attraction doesn't need to convince anyone. He just is. And that energy alone is enough. So if you ever find yourself wondering, what should I say to make her like me? Stop, shift your focus. The real question isn't, what should I say? The real question is, what should she feel? Because when a woman feels something powerful in your presence, when she feels excitement, mystery, tension, admiration, or even a little bit of nervousness, she won't need to analyze anything, she'll just know. And when she just knows, that's when attraction becomes undeniable. So if attraction isn't about words, then what is it about? The answer? It's about how you make her feel in every moment. And nothing makes a woman feel more alive than controlled chaos. Number 2, the power of controlled chaos. Most men are predictable. They follow the same patterns. They text her at the same time every day. They take her to the same types of places. They respond the same way in every conversation. And over time, this predictability kills attraction. Women may say they want stability, but what they actually crave is emotional variety. The feeling of excitement, anticipation, and the unknown. This is why the classic bad boy stereotype is so attractive. It's not because women want to be mistreated. It's because these men introduce an element of unpredictability. They make her feel something different every time she's around them. One moment, he's deeply engaged and present. The next, he's focused on something else, leaving her wanting more. There's a dynamic push and pull, a sense that she can never fully pin him down, and that keeps her thinking about him. But here's the important part. This isn't about being reckless or playing games. It's about controlled chaos, a mix of certainty and unpredictability that makes you feel alive in her presence. A man who makes her feel safe, but also keeps her on her toes. A man who can be serious, but also playful. A man who can be intense, but also relaxed. This contrast is what creates deep emotional impact. Think of the most compelling movies, the most unforgettable stories. They don't follow a straight, predictable path. They have highs and lows, twists and turns, moments of tension followed by release. That's what keeps an audience hooked, and that's what keeps a woman emotionally engaged in a relationship. If a woman feels like she's on an emotional roller coaster in a good way, she'll never want to get off the ride. But if every interaction is the same, if there's no challenge, no variation, no emotional contrast, she will start to lose interest, whether she realizes it or not. So how do you create controlled chaos? First, stop being overly available. If you always reply instantly, if you always say yes, if you never introduce an element of unpredictability, you're removing one of the key factors that drive attraction: mystery. Second, don't be afraid to mix different sides of yourself. One day, be deeply engaged in a meaningful conversation with her. The next, be lighthearted and teasing. Keep her emotionally engaged by not being the exact same person in every moment. And third, lead with confidence in any situation, even in uncertainty. Women are naturally drawn to men who can handle chaos without being consumed by it. If things don't go according to plan, don't stress, laugh it off. If a date gets interrupted, turn it into an adventure. If life throws unexpected obstacles in your way, stay composed. This ability to be adaptable, yet still in control, is what makes a man unforgettable. When a woman is around a man who embodies controlled chaos, she feels alive. She feels like she's experiencing something rare, something real, something that can't be easily replaced. And that feeling is what makes her stay. Before we move on to the next powerful principle, if you're finding value in this video, take a second to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing, you're not just supporting this channel, you're ensuring that we can continue creating high-value content to help you grow into the strongest version of yourself. If you're serious about mastering attraction, self-mastery, and emotional strength, make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Thank you for your support. Now, Let's dive deeper. Number 3. The undeniable power of self-belief. Here's the brutal truth. A woman can smell insecurity from a mile away. You might think you're hiding it, that she won't notice if you act confident, if you say the right things, if you pretend to be in control. But she does. Every hesitation, every need for validation, every time you subtly seek her approval, it's all sending signals. Signals that you doubt yourself. Signals that you don't fully believe in who you are. And nothing destroys attraction faster than a man who isn't sure of himself. You don't attract a woman by proving your worth. You attract her by knowing your worth. Because confidence isn't something you say, it's something you carry. It's in your posture, your tone, the way you take up space, the way you react when things don't go your way. It's in the way you handle rejection without flinching, the way you make decisions without second-guessing, the way you exist in the world with certainty. A man's worth is not measured by external approval, but by his own unshakable belief in himself. This means you don't need to be the richest guy in the room. You don't need to be the best looking. You don't need to have the most impressive career. What matters is that you walk into any room and you know you belong there. You don't shrink. You don't seek permission. You don't wait for someone to validate you. Women don't fall for men because of what they have. They fall for men because of how they carry themselves, how they hold their ground, how they radiate a sense of purpose that doesn't waver. When a man has true self-belief, it creates a gravitational pull. It makes people lean in. It makes women want to be around him, not because he's chasing them, but because he's a force they can't ignore. But most men don't realize this. They think if they just say the right things, if they just do enough, if they just show her how much they care, she'll choose them. But here's the paradox. The more you seek her approval, the less likely you are to get it. The moment you stop needing her approval is the moment she starts giving it to you. Why? Because when you stop seeking, you start embodying. You start living with a different energy. You stop over-explaining yourself. You stop trying to impress. You stop worrying about what she thinks. And in that space, you become more attractive, not because you're trying to be, but because you already are. Think about the men that women admire the most. They are not the ones constantly asking, "Do you like me?" They are the ones who already know they are valuable, with or without her approval. This doesn't mean being arrogant. It means being grounded. It means knowing that you have something to offer because you've built yourself into someone of value. So how do you develop unshakable self-belief? First, you must learn to validate yourself. Stop looking to others to tell you you're enough. Look at your actions, your mindset, the way you show up in the world. Do they align with the kind of man you want to be? If not, fix them. Second, stop apologizing for who you are. If you have an opinion, own it. If you have a vision, chase it. If you have standards, enforce them. A man who constantly adjusts himself to fit what he thinks others want will never be respected. And third, start leading your own life. Don't wait for external approval to move forward. Stop playing it safe. Start taking risks. Confidence is built through experience, through stepping into discomfort and coming out stronger. When you live like this, you don't have to act confident. It's just who you are. Attraction isn't about looking for permission. It's about being the kind of man who doesn't need to ask for it in the first place. Because when you truly believe in yourself, the world and the women in it will have no choice but to believe in you too. But here's the thing. Self-belief means nothing if you're afraid to lose her. And that's where most men fail. Number 4. The silent strength of letting go. Most men fear losing a woman. They think if they stop trying, if they stop proving themselves, if they stop doing everything to keep her interested, she'll leave. And sometimes that's true. But the men who operate from this fear, the men who cling too tightly, who make her the center of their world, those are the men who lose her the fastest. Because when a woman feels that you need her more than she needs you, she loses respect. And when respect is gone, attraction follows. But here's what makes you unforgettable. The ability to walk away with confidence. The ability to say, I want you in my life, but I don't need you to complete me. The ability to set a standard and enforce it. even if it means losing her. This isn't about playing games or trying to manipulate her emotions. This is about understanding that true strength comes from knowing your own worth and never compromising it, even for someone you care about. Women test men all the time, consciously or unconsciously. If she senses that you're afraid to lose her, she will push boundaries. She will pull away just to see how you react. She will challenge your confidence, not because she wants to break you, but because she wants to see if you're as strong as you claim to be. And if you panic, if you start chasing, if you beg for reassurance, she will know that your strength was just an illusion. If she feels like you need her, she will lose attraction. Not because she wants a man who doesn't care, but because she wants a man who is solid enough to stand on his own. A man who values himself enough to never beg for someone's affection. A man who understands that attachment is not the same as connection. But if she knows that you value her but don't depend on her, she will never want to leave. She will feel safe in your presence, knowing that your strength isn't dependent on her validation. She will respect you more because she sees that you have the discipline to walk away from anything that doesn't align with your self-worth. And when a woman respects you, she can't help but feel drawn to you. The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have. If you make her your emotional center, if your happiness depends on her approval, you've already lost control. The strongest men are the ones who understand this. You must always be willing to lose someone in order to keep them. Not as a tactic, but as a mindset. If she's meant to stay, she will stay. Not because you begged, but because you created an energy that made her want to. A man who is willing to walk away is the man she never wants to leave. Because deep down, women want to be with a man they know is strong enough to stand without them. That's the kind of man who commands attention, who exudes confidence, who makes a woman feel lucky to be by his side. Not because he forces it, but because his presence alone is something she never wants to lose. Number 5, the final shift. You become her emotional home. The ultimate secret to making a woman never want to leave is not about how much money you have, how attractive you are, or even how exciting your lifestyle may be. It all comes down to one thing. A woman will never leave the man who makes her feel like she's home. Women live in a world of emotional highs and lows. They experience uncertainty, overthinking, and self-doubt more often than they let on. And while they may be drawn to excitement, adventure, and spontaneity, at the core of every meaningful connection, they are searching for something deeper, something they don't even always realize they need. They are looking for a man who is not just a momentary thrill, but an anchor, a foundation, a presence so solid that when she is around him, she feels like she can let go of the chaos of the world and just exist in peace. Most men don't understand this. They think women stay because of passion, because of excitement, because of attraction. And while all of that matters, what truly makes a woman attach herself to a man for the long haul is a feeling of emotional security. A sense that no matter what happens, he is unshaken. That when the world feels unstable, when life throws uncertainty at her, she can look at him and feel a sense of grounding. So how do you do that? How do you become that kind of man? It starts with 3 things. First, be the calm in her storm. Women by nature feel deeply. They experience emotions in waves, often shifting between highs and lows without fully understanding why. If you react emotionally to her every mood swing, if you mirror her frustration, anxiety, or stress, you are not her anchor. You're just another part of the storm. Instead, you must remain steady. If she comes to you overwhelmed, be the presence that makes her breathe easier. If she is caught up in overthinking, don't feed into it. Pull her out of it. The more grounded you are, the more she will crave your presence. Second, be the rock when she's overwhelmed. Every woman, no matter how strong or independent, has moments where she feels exhausted, mentally, emotionally, and physically. In those moments, she doesn't need a man who panics, who makes it about himself, or who tries to fix everything. She needs a man who simply says, "I got you." A man who, with just his energy, can make her feel like everything is going to be okay. The men that women remember forever are not the ones who were the loudest or the most dominant. They are the ones who provided an unshakable sense of peace. And third, be the one man who never lets emotions control him. Women don't trust men who are emotionally unstable. They may tolerate them for a while, but deep down, they cannot attach themselves to a man they feel is unpredictable, moody, or emotionally volatile. If you get angry easily, if you react impulsively, if you let small things throw you off balance, you are not a safe place. You are a liability. The men who command the deepest respect and loyalty from women are those who have mastered their emotions, who can face pressure, conflict, or uncertainty without losing themselves in it. The world is chaotic. Women experience emotions more fluidly than men. They don't need a man who matches their emotions. They need a man who can regulate his own. A man who leads with calm, who brings clarity to confusion, who is not easily swayed by outside forces. They will always crave a man who is their safe place. And when you become that man, she will never want to leave, because she will know that what she has with you is something she can't find anywhere else. If you've made it this far, you're already ahead of most men, because understanding this changes everything. Most men go through life blindly chasing attraction, approval, and validation, never realizing that the real key to lasting connection isn't found in strategies, tricks, or chasing harder. It's found in mastering yourself. It's found in becoming a man of presence, of depth, of unshakable confidence, a man who doesn't need to prove his worth because he already knows it. Women don't stay because you beg them to. They don't stay because you say all the right things or because you try harder than anyone else. They stay because of the way you make them feel. They stay because, in your presence, they experience something rare, something real. They feel grounded. They feel challenged. They feel safe. And when you become that man, you'll realize something powerful. Attraction stops being something you chase. It becomes something you naturally create. Now it's your turn. Which principle resonated with you the most? Was it the power of self-belief? The ability to walk away? The presence of controlled chaos? Drop a comment below. I read every response, and I want to hear your thoughts. If this message spoke to you, if you found even one insight today that made you rethink the way you approach attraction and relationships, then do me a favor. Like this video, subscribe to Stoic Spirit, and turn on notifications so you never miss another lesson on becoming the strongest version of yourself. Thank you for watching. Thank you for investing in your mindset, your growth, and your power. And remember this, the man who walks away with confidence is the man she never forgets. The man who controls his emotions controls his world. And the man who values himself above all else is the man who will always command respect. Stay strong, stay grounded, stay stoic. And I'll see you in the next one.